Hello, this is Sim Racing Corner, hot on the heels, or hot on the wheels, of yesterday's video when I gave you my impressions of the force feedback in the new updates for RaceRoom. And if you watch that video, you know I was pretty disappointed with it. I was having a problem with the feel of the weight transfer of the cars. I was driving this car on track, so I'm returning to the same car and track combination and to give you an update, and I have fixed the problem. A lot of people were commenting on things I could try, and they were repeating the same sort of thing. Really, was delete some files, some configuration files, and then run a verification on the installation through Steam for the game, and the sort of file integrity kind of option you can run on any game on Steam. Sometimes you have to do it if the game is corrupt, and it will download then some default files which will replace the ones I delete, effectively just wiping out some configuration files. And I thought that was an interesting idea. However, I didn't do that. What I did, I just reinstalled the entire game. So wiped out everything, reinstalled it, ran through the setup of binding everything and sorting out the force feedback and everything else. And it actually has fixed the problem, and I now have actually a pretty decent feeling of weight transfer through the wheel when I turn now, which is something that is completely not there. Yesterday, right after the update, it was just a feeling of resistance of the wheel when I turned it, and it was just basically, no matter, snaking on the track here or going around corners, it was just the same feeling of weight. It just had no distinct feel through the force feedback. And now it does, and it's not bad actually. I'm quite liking it. It's the force feedback in the update is subtle on the actual in its effect, but it conveys a decent feel. It reminds me a little bit of Automobilista in one respect of that force feedback was pretty subtle in the original Automobilista. But with a direct drive wheel, it came through quite nicely and had really a lot of nuances. This doesn't have the same amount of nuances, but it does have a nice, I do feel like it does, in a way, it's actually quite realistic. It's not over the top force feedback, and it's there, I can feel it, and it sort of feels quite natural. And I've been now putting in another few hours today on this before I start recording this. And I'm really quite enjoying the feeling of it. Still need to learn my braking points occasionally, but there you go. But yeah, it feels pretty good as I go around. If I go around these corners, it's quite satisfying. The link between the force feedback output and the grip that I'm feeling, and I feel pretty well in tune with it, and I'm really happy with it. So yeah, a few guys out there were in the comments in yesterday's video were expressing the same problems. Possibly what you need to do is look at some of the comments that were mentioned, and you may not have to just reinstall the game. Maybe some config files you can just delete, run a verification of the integrity of your Steam install, and it may fix the problem for you, and you just basically reconfigure some of the elements of the game with your controller, with your wheel, and it may sort it out for you. And it feels good. It feels actually really good. It's not up to the same standard, I'd say, as R Factor 2 or Automobilista 2. It's different in its own right, and it's good in its own right. I would probably like some of the effects to be a little bit more, I guess maybe exaggerated. I guess that's the best word to say. There isn't really much of a feeling when you brake, when you lock up there. I'd like a little bit more feeling there. Maybe a little bit more feeling as well with loading up as well, but it's not bad. And when the back end is stepping out and oversteer, maybe sometimes a little bit more sensation there, but there's stuff there, and I'm certainly finding it's not a problem, but I wouldn't mind a little bit more from the force feedback, but I have to say it is satisfying as it is, and I'm enjoying it, and I've been putting in a bunch of laps today, just lapping and actually just enjoying it, just enjoying the actual sensation of driving and the feeling of the force feedback. Yeah, it's got a nice connected feel with the road, and it's good. So yeah, there's a problem yesterday, and it's kind of odd because a lot of the other force feedback effects were fine, and there's literally one effect which was effectively absent. It was impossible to know that it was some sort of weird configuration bug in my installation after the update that just needed to be corrected. Because if all but one of the sensations through the force feedback is not working, then how are you going to know? So yeah, yesterday's video was a true representation of my feelings of what it was like to drive this car on this track, and like I said, it's transformed today. I'm really happy with it. I also took a DTM 2020 DTM to Bathurst, which is always a fun sort of ride, and yeah, that felt good as well, so I'm really happy with that. Those cars can struggle with some throttle oversteer, and that was coming through very well with the force feedback, so I was happy with that. But overall, yeah, I'm happy with it, and yeah, maybe Sector 3 will do some more tuning to the force feedback effects and improve it even further. But as it stands, it is actually very good. It's very satisfying. It has a realistic feel, and there you go. So yeah, if you had some problems like me, reinstall the game. Maybe try the easier hack of just removing some config files. Like I said, check the comments from yesterday's video, and you'll see the suggestions people have put out there. I just decided to just basically delete it and install it overnight, and then come back in the morning and give it another go, and it was absolutely fine. So yeah, really happy with it, enjoying it, and it feels pretty good to me, and I'd say yeah, it's good. It's good. Not the best force feedback, but it is good force feedback, and it's satisfying force feedback, which I can quite happily enjoy and come back to and appreciate. So yeah, there you go, guys. So that's good news. There is a solution if you're on the same boat as me, and yeah, and it does answer that question of why some people were pretty much kind of were on both sides. It's very polarizing, the comments. There was comments with saying everything is great and it's amazing, and other people saying yes, it's kind of trash, like what I was feeling yesterday. But yes, there is good force feedback there. Yeah, so just persevere, and you can get to it like I have, and I'm really enjoying it. So there you go, guys. Hopefully this is helpful, and it's definitely worth putting an update video to let you guys know that things are all working very well, even if my driving isn't. But there you go. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Take it easy, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy simming, and bye bye.